Hi, how's everybody doing? My name is Fern, and what we're doing today is we're having a class. I'm hosting a class on how to go about reselling what you already own and you have around your house. I know you probably have a lot of things. A lot of people do, and it's like, okay, I don't have any money. I'm broke. What do I do? How do I get gas money? So I learned years ago a solution was to go about selling what you already have, things you don't use that you buy, that are things still in good condition, um, that you can take out, clean up, wipe down, and resell it. And it's called reselling. So what I've been doing is I've been going around teaching as I talk to people, giving them a solution that was given to me over 20 plus, almost 30 years ago, how to go about selling it and instead of just giving it away. Sometimes you're like, you know what, this is worth this or that is worth that. It was at the time when you bought it out of the store, but at the time now, as it gets older, some things mature in value and some things decrease in value. So I just want to share with you. I'm taping as I'm teaching at the same time. So if you see me looking down or looking over or looking at my notes, that's what I'm doing. So my name is Fern, and I am the president of FML Diversify. And this business and this assignment is given to me by the Lord. That's my faith, that's my belief, and I believe that there's not a higher power, but there's a God who is the power. So I just want to share with you that you'll hear me reference the Lord a lot. That's my foundation, that's my teaching, that's who I believe in, that's my source. So on this class, I'm going to be teaching exactly how to go about taking the things that you already own and using it so that you can take and get the money that you need to pay and meet those obligations. And a lot of us have obligations and things are tight for people. So I'm going to give you just 3 principles today that you can use. I would first say that I would go around my house, look what I have in the closets, in the attic, backyard, in trash bags and boxes, or just stuffed up in the closet. The closet, you have to push clothes sometime, and just go take a minute or an hour or so and say, hey, I'm going to go through these things and I'm going to pick out what I can sell that I can take and resell. Reselling is it can be easy or it can be difficult. Make it easy for yourself. What I would do is, one of the suggestions is all of the things that you have. It may be appliances, it may be clothes, books, shoes, pocketbooks. If they're in good condition, I would just take them, pick them up, go through them, take all the money that's in there still out, because you're going to find money. A lot of women sometimes, or men who have changed their wallets a lot, that there's money that's probably in there. So go look, So get the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, because without 2 pennies, you won't get 2 cents. So that's one of the things that you can do. Let's go get that stuff out. The appliances that you bought, if they're in good condition. If they're not in such good condition, or if they have a lot of burns in the pans and stuff, maybe you might want to disregard it. It depends on the pans, though, because there are some pans that are really, really good. You could scrub. You could get the detergents and scrub them up and make them look new. So, just, take your time and do that. It's another source. And then you can go about, either people say everybody's not technical, you might not want to sell online. You can sell, you can have a door sale, you can sell by word of mouth, you can do tag sales. There's a ton of different things that you can do and you can use to go about to promote the products that you have for sale. Now, guess what? Now, you're a business person. So many times we're not taught that we are business people. Let's go and look up in the dictionary. Some people want to know, some don't. So I do my classes in dualization of, for those people who want to do business and those people who just need to make money to pay those bills at this time and stuff. And they might not be interested in starting a business. So you're going to hear me speak to both sides of when I'm teaching. So that's another thing that you can do. You can word of mouth. That's selling. Hey, I got these things. I'm not using them anymore. Do you think you might be interested? Is one of the things you could ask your friends. do you think that you might be interested? If you know somebody who has kids' clothes and they have another friend who's having kids or had kids and they're older, you can say, hey, I got these, because if I go out there and I buy baby sneakers and they're $80 and my friend's having a baby, maybe you can sell them to them for $40, half. Maybe they'll want to give you half or $20. If I have the babies, I say baby shoes or sneakers because there are those who spend $80 on a pair of baby shoes, but then the friend might want to buy them if they're $20, if they're $10, if they're $5, or you give them to them, then they could probably resell them. So yeah, there is ways to make money just by having the things that you have around your house. So the next thing I would say is gather those things together, sort them in a room, go through them, because then you could decide what is sellable, what isn't sellable, things you want to keep, but you're separating them to make room, not to make room to bring more in right now. The object of reselling is so that you can earn an income, and that sometimes you have so many things in your house, you need money and stuff, you can downsize it. I was at a flea market in Ohio, and I took someone out. We went out, we set up and stuff a system that they can use, and a gentleman came over and he was sharing with me that he told me to tell the person to take and get everything they had that they need to sell it. And I know it was a word of wisdom from this gentleman. He said, because you can always go back and replace it later, and you can do that. Don't think that what you have, unless it's memento and you got it from a family member or something you picked up you always wanted, then, that's something different you keep. But if you need to pay those bills right now, then you might need to sell it. So it's up to you, it's yours. So I'm just teaching you some pointers of how to sell. You can sell in person like I was sharing with you. You can sell online. You can sell online. There's different groups and things like that you can sell at. There's Facebook groups, there's Poshmark. I could go on, but these are some of the tips that I'm giving you today, that if you're interested in starting a small business, it might turn into a business. But I just want you to know you're already a business if you go and you look up the definition. So don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't be timid. You got to go out there to do what you have to do to secure your home until the finances get better. We're living in a time right now, the land is sore. You got all these different things going on, from the politics to the churches to this one. At the end of the day, you got to provide for your family, for that rent, for that mortgage, for the food, for the kids' things the kids need, for you need a roof over your head. So how are you going to do that with what you already have? So that's part of the reselling and that part. Then we go into online, what they call e-commerce, but you might not want to go into e-commerce. You might just want to go into just reselling on Facebook. Now, Facebook has a platform that you can sell on their platform, and for those who are technical, you can take and set up your own Facebook page, your own Facebook account in the marketplace. Facebook has a marketplace, which the marketplace is an area that you can sell your things in, and you can list them. And that would require you to take and open an account and then take pictures. You upload them according to, they have a template that you would fill in, and it's called listing, and then you will list your product. So through the listing product in the listing section, you would then go ahead and you would begin to post one item at a time. You would take the pictures, you clean the item up first, and then you would take the pictures, and then you would go ahead, and that's the item. Now you now have online. If you're in person, there's a spot in there you could click, and it'll say in-person selling. If it's not, If it's online shipping, there's a section in there where you could do online shipping. They had changed the shipping platform a few months ago, but I've since seen they're doing something in that shipping because there were a lot of people shipping. I shipped for years. And that's another segment of shipping. If you decide you want to ship, there's a way you can learn how to go about shipping the products out to the customers, which you would need other tools for, which I would go over it, and I do that in a longer version of a class. I show you exactly how to. So what I'm teaching you today is just the basics of reselling that you can resell to go ahead and make ends meet. From there, we would go into something like you can use other avenues. You could do flea markets. You can do tag sales. You can go to people who are churches and bazaars that are having different tag sales and things and sell your wares there, your items. In the marketplace is a different lingo. And in my classes, I teach a full overcrossing of the different even terminology of business. A lot of times we grew up, we're going to the store, we're going to buy something. Like my granddaughter yesterday, she was like, "We're going to the store, Grandma, we're going to the store." So now it's my job, since she's always talking about going to the store, is I have to teach them, first of all, about the marketplace. I have to teach them the money. They know the money, but they don't know the work ethic. You got to get behind the money. So all of that is lingo as you build a reselling platform, if that's what you want to do, or you just want to sell and be done with it, to be able to at any time earn some money and get your things that you need, things paid and stuff. So do that part and stuff. That's more in-depth teaching and stuff. So I just wanted to come today in this class to make you aware, as you become more knowledgeable about reselling, that you don't have to go without. God has made a way, and he will make a way out of no way. And this is one of the ways that he had for me and my children, as I learned almost 30 years ago. Sometimes it's tough to believe that, but years ago, to make ends meet for me and for my children, single parent. I raised 3 beautiful children, and then a granddaughter was a bonus and an added on, and raised her on a part-time job. And you can do it. You can start with what you have. If you don't have anything around the house, if you don't own anything, and I say that because there are homeless people who would, for whatever the means, have lost everything. There's a way you can go when you're going through walking in the streets, you're driving and you see things, and there's another way of when people are doing bulk. The bulk people are coming in towns and cities, find out your local town. And I would say be neat, first of all, before I explain to you. Be courteous, be respectful. Yes, somebody's trash is a treasure, but please leave people's stuff looking neat and stored properly and stuff. You can go into the trash. And a lot of times people throw out brand new stuff because they didn't want it. Whatever the situation was that they acquired it, they didn't need it anymore. It was given to them and they're passing it on. I recently acquired a beautiful white vase, gorgeous, that somebody put out. And they had a lot of other, a few other nice things and stuff. And I have a habit of bringing things home and then I bring them back out the door. But I would also encourage you to pray, ask the Lord, seek his face. God, is this for me? Should I take it or I leave it? Like I said, in my faith and stuff, the spiritual significance for whatever it may be, the situation. So I just want to encourage you there that there's ways of selling, acquiring things. There's stores and you can go to and shop on markdown things and stuff like that. There's a name they call it, arbitrage, for those who know, and those who don't know, it's something they do in selling and reselling. So I'm not into that right now. Right now I'm teaching for those who are going through tough times, who need to earn some money, who need to take those Gucci or those Pradas or your Louis Vuittons. I'm not a big designer person. I just learned about it over the past 25 plus years. And if it's gonna if you have to sell it, sometimes again, if it's sentimental, I would, consider that it's a way to take and get an income. You might not get what it is in the retail market, because right now they know people are getting rid of stuff and they don't want to give you top dollar. They want to give you just enough. But if that just enough is going to be enough to pay that car payment, then you know what, you have an option. You've been given a solution. So the next thing I wanted to go over is you can practice. You can practice selling. If you decide that you're going to sell, say on Facebook, and you decide that you're not going to ship, sometimes it's too much for people. Sometimes they don't understand how to put it together. And if you, a lot of people, there's been good stories and bad stories on doing meetups and things like that. There's different options. You can do something where you go out into, say, the police departments, the store shopping lots. I use my car a lot of times for different ways of selling. It may not be good for everyone, but it worked for me. I always would cognitive. I'm at my high level when I'm dealing with a transaction and stuff. I can't be sleeping. I got to be alert and awoke. So there are ways that you can take and be alert and awoke and go ahead and get that sale. Fern, you might say, hey, Fern, well, they're only offering me $10, but it's worth $50. And you've had it out there for a while. You got to come down. You could keep it. I've learned that. And there's things I didn't want to sell, and I end up keeping. Then after they did not sell, I still got some stuff in my room. I know that's brand new, and I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I've had it like 3 years. No, I don't want to keep it, but at the same time, I always have that hope that maybe, and I just recently sold something I have for 3 years, that God will bring somebody along. And Lord, right now, can you bring somebody for the rest of the stuff I have? I also teach in the areas of street vending. I've been a street vendor. I've been into gift basket making. I'll do a class if anybody would like. I do one-on-one coaching. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to run it by. You're not crazy. You're not a lunatic. You just need somebody to sit down, and you don't want to do a therapist. You just wants to sit down. I do one-on-one counseling, life counseling, coaching. How to take it, just stay in the game. Stay in when you want to give up. You got to get back in it. So I do life coaching if anybody's interested. But there are different things that you can do to take and make a living, and you don't have to beg, borrow, or steal. Use faith, because faith is the currency for the kingdom of heaven. And I'm learning that as I build and as I work and as I grow in my knowledge of who God is and my faith, then I look to Him who's been my provider for years. So through my testimony and my teachings and stuff, you're going to get a little bit of everything, because I tell my story as I teach. I teach according to the things I've learned over the years. So you can make it. You don't have to be without. Your children don't have to be without. But you got to have a want to. I want to do better. So in this teaching class, I'm about to wrap up today, that you can definitely earn an income or some type of money to put together to hit that electric bill, to hit that other kind of bill, car payment, mortgage payment, tuition payment is a big thing. For those who are in college, I would share this with you. Ask your dorm roommates, go to the Lost and Found, see what's in the Lost and Found, and you ask them, don't take, but you ask them, hey, after a certain amount of days, what do you do with all this stuff you have here? A lot of them will tell you they throw it in the trash. So if you could get you some, there's some sunglasses my son and them be wearing, and I'm like, what's that? A lot of things I learned I didn't know, and in my head, because I'm business minded, I'm trying to figure out how I can take and make $1 and a nickel and put it together to make it keep going. Especially as a single parent, we can't waste a penny. My kids are grown now. They have their own families. Thank God. I thank the Lord for blessing them, with the word of God, young. That's a whole testimony as I come back and I share it with you. But He is a God of impossibilities. So He has me here today teaching you how to take and look to him, because God will make a way out of no way. You can do it. You can sell that item. When I first started out, I was like, this is a mouse. I was like, first of all, when I seen these, I was like, what's that? It was like, it's a mouse. I was like, oh, what do you do with it? And then I bought a computer because everybody else was buying a computer. And I wanted a computer. And then I bought a computer, and I got the computer to know how to use it. But then I found out that after I finished using that computer, I could sell that computer. So now I'm to the mouse stages with a laptop. I just purchased a laptop. I have several iPad computer things. That one just went out the door yesterday for my grandson. Only utilize that he can utilize it because whatever they're doing in the training and the skills in the school, it was a whole nother thing. So I just want to encourage you that you can resell those things. If it's electronics, if it's phones, make sure they're stripped or your data's off. If it's computers, the same. But you have things within your house, stands, lamps, family heirlooms. If you own them, if somebody inherited, somebody gave to you, but be quick. Check the value. Cross-check your references. Don't just be selling things. Because there's value. Especially in older things. There's a value in furniture. You can sell furniture. They or you would have to, your customer or you would have to find out a way to move it. But be careful even about those. I generally deal with customers that I have talked to, and you'll get a lingo in your ear. You'll learn through time. Don't meet up with anybody. You know, if you haven't, and they show that you're asking questions, not just plain basic things. You're going to have a conversation. And when you get a feel for the conversation, then you're going to know if that's a person that you will want to deal with. If they just flamming, like soon as you post something, if you get somebody right away, I would back off on them. Because a lot of those people who are scammers, they come that way. Now, Fern, do I want to get involved in all of that? In any kind of business, there's always a risk. There's always, when you go to Walmart, you don't know if that product's going to be good until you take it home and use it. You done put $1,000 out there on the TV, but you don't even know if the tube's going to come on. You know, I got this TV here behind me, but you don't have any guarantees. So I'm here to teach you that through all of this and through learning business, being a part, because once you want to sell something, you're in business. If you put it out there to sell, you are now a business person. Yeah. So that's part of the reselling of something that you are going to develop a skill, and that you'll be able to do it even more because one item leads to the next and the next and the next. And then you can teach your children or your grandchildren how to become a business person. It's through practice and repetition. Once you do it once, they call it rinse and repeat. You do it again. You do it again. It took me a long time to catch on. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I'm like, repeat, repeat. Do it again. Do it again. And then after a while, you're going to have people who come to you. I teach on reselling for the bakeries. How to do home businesses. You can go ahead and can start your own bakery in the home. Every state is different, but it's called a cottage home business. And you can lean toward maybe baking cakes and cookies and pies. So you start with one thing at a time, and then you move from there. So through the reselling right now, is if you need money now, I would lead toward reselling. And if you want to grow from there, there's permits that you can get to do. If you want to do another type of business, there's other different permits that you can get to start reselling what you have. So I encourage you right now that you would go ahead and start working in that area, stuff like that. Take what you have, put it together, do a tag sale even. It was just the past weekend, the holiday time. People are buying things, and people aren't ashamed. That like it used to be years ago to go and get something, a used pair of shoes or a used coat. When I went out to the thrift store about 3 weeks ago, in the town that lives next to me, it was so packed, and all you saw was the Mercedes and the this and the that and the this, because the rich or the wealthy or the what they say the middle class, they was all at the thrift store. You can't beat them to the thrift store, and that's no disrespect to them. But you know what? They're trying to keep their houses. They're trying to keep their land. They're trying to keep their mortgages because it's getting something. So be ahead of the game. Learn how to sell what you already have. You don't have to throw it out in the trash. You don't have to give it away. You can sell it to make ends meet. So I have a booklet that I wrote of how to go about reselling. It's on Amazon, and it's how to make money selling what you already own. Reselling to make ends meet guide. I think it's $14 or $15. Give it to somebody as a Christmas gift, birthday gift, just a gift, because you know they're going through hard times. But this is some suggestions. It's also on Etsy, so it's a downloadable that you can use as a reference to help make ends meet. So we're going to be doing another class coming up, and it's going to be a full class on how to go about reselling what you already own to make ends meet. This is Fern from FML Diversify. Also, check me out. I have a business. I sell custom gift wrapping paper that you can customize it. Somebody's birthday, wedding, baby shower that might be coming up. It's called Gift Wrap Emporium. You'll also find me on Etsy. It's giftwrapemporium.etsy.com. Again, it's giftwrapemporium.etsy.com. So have a great day, and we're looking forward to I do one-on-one consulting also. So if you're interested in, like I said, some coaching, let me know. Leave me a DM, and I will follow you, or leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you. So we're going to be talking with you later. You have a great rest of the day. This is Fern again.